छोटो समयमा नै राष्ट्रिय स्तरमा ख्याति प्राप्त यस मनासुलु वर्ल्ड कलेजको मूल मन्त्र अ होम फर फ्युचर लिडर्सलाई आत्मसात गर्दै नेतृत्व विकास र कुशल खेलाडी उत्पादनमा टेवा पुर्याउने मेरो पनि आबद्धता रहेको छ। सत्य, निडर, कर्मठ युवा नेतृत्व नै आजको आवश्यकता हो र मनासुलु सोही नेतृत्व विकासको लागि उपयुक्त कलेज हो। त्यसैले यो उत्कृष्ट विद्यार्थीहरूको रोजाइ बन्न सफल भएको छ। लेट्स जोइन मनासुलु एन्ड बी अ फ्युचर लिडर्स।
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Shraddha Sharma from St. Mary's High School, Kathmandu, and from the 9th standard, and I'm your host for this talk show. Education is the most powerful weapon which you can change the world. It is a famous saying by Nelson Mandela. Education, in its general sense, is a form of learning in which the education, skills, and habits of a group of people are transferred from one generation to the next through teaching, training, or research. Education is simply preparing a person to face everyday life. With this, it's my honor to present you all the principal of Chandabag School, Mrs. Nira Pradhan. Welcome, ma'am. Hajulai program.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Shraddha Sharma. That's nice. A young girl taking up the interview. That's nice.
It's my honor, Hajulai program. Although हामी फिजिकल कन्डिसनमा नभए तापनि हामी यही भर्चुअल र अनलाइन कन्डिसनमै आशा गर्छु कि हजुरसँग हामी गर्सँग अन्तर्क्रिया गर्दा एकदमै रमाउनु हुनेछ। So ma'am,
thank you. Yes, Shraddha, please go ahead.
So ma'am, let's start. Ma'am, हजुर एउटा महान शिक्षिका हुनुहुन्छ। हजुरले अनगिन्ती विद्यार्थीहरूलाई शिक्षा र दीक्षा पनि दिनुभएको छ। लामो यात्रा गरिसक्नु भएकी नीरा प्रधानको बाल्यकाल चाहिँ कस्तो थियो? जीवनमा कयौं उतार चढाव बीचमा यहाँले आफ्नो बाल्यकाललाई कसरी सम्झिनुहुन्छ? तपाईको बाल्यकालको केही सम्झनाहरू बताइदिनुस् न।
ओके, बाल्यकालमा धेरै रमाइलो गर्यौं। आई थिंक हामी आफूलाई धेरै भाग्यमानी भन्छौं। हामीले जे पनि पढ्यौं सिक्यौं त्यो सबै नेचरसँग नेचुरल लाइफमा पढ्यौं, नेचुरल इन्भाइरोमेन्टमा खेलेर सिक्यौं हैन। सो नेचरले हामीले धेरै कुछ सिकायो है। बाल्यकालमा क्लास 8 सम्म वाज भेरी स्मूथ। क्लास 9 देखि मैले के कोशिश गर्ने, क्लास 8 देखि मैले के गर्ने कोशिश गरेँ भने नि आफूले पढ्नु त पढ्यौं, इन डेप्थमा टिचिङ इज लर्निङ ट्वाइस भन्ने सुनेको थिएँ।
हजुर,
लर्निङ ट्वाइस। सो मैले के गरेँ भने नि क्लास 8 देखि ट्युसन पढाउँथेँ। ओके, क्लास 8 में my students were from class 7 and 6. I had 5 students, 5 जना स्टुडेन्ट्स थियो। एन्ड त्यो पढाउँदा झन् बढी सिकेँ। When I क्लास 9 मा गएँ, सेम ग्रुप 8 मा आयो, 7 मा आयो। When I went to 10 and 11, म इन्डियामा हुर्केँ, पढेँ मध्य प्रदेश भोपाल क्यापिटल सिटी। 11 बोर्ड क्लास थियो, 11 हाई सेकेन्डरी बोर्ड। त्यसमा पनि हामीले कहिले पनि रिस्ट्रिक्सन्स भएन कि वी हैव टु टेक द ट्युसन एन्ड कोचिङ क्लासेस, केही थिएन। इनफ्याक्ट म आफैले पनि ट्युसन, आई युज टु गिभ ट्युसन्स। द्याट टाइम माई स्टुडेन्ट्स वर इन क्लास 9 and 10। ओके, सो 10 पछि फेरि आई डिड बीएससी। द्याट पढ्ने र सिकाउने वातावरण बनिरह्यो। साइन्समा बीएससी गरेँ। बीएससी गर्दा पनि ट्युसन पढाएँ। साइन्स कलेज एकदम वाज लाइक इन स्कुल 9 to 4। देन क्लास घरमा आउनु बित्तिकै देन आफ्नो रुटिन वर्क, डिसिप्लिन फ्यामिलीबाट आएकोले घरमा आफ्नो सिस्टमेटिक जे रेस्पोन्सिबिलिटिज थियो त्यो हामी गर्थ्यौँ आफ्नै। त्यसपछि फेरि ट्युसन पढायो, फेरि बेलुका पढ्यो हैन, त्यस्तो वातावरणमा। आफ्टर बीएससी रिजल्ट भएको थिएन, आई गट अ जब। सो जब हाई सेकेन्डरी स्कुलमा फर क्लास 9, 10 and 11 भारतीय निकेतन स्कुल भोपाल। Then I started again my teaching career. My profession started from that particular school. And I used to take classes of 9, 10, 11. Then my class 11 students were just 3 year junior to me. They were in 11. I just completed my BSc. So somehow enjoyed so much. I didn't like pursuing the MSc. Then I went for masters in sociology. Yeah. Then I had 3 jobs. I had my own profession. Then I studied MA in sociology. Then again, I was giving tuition in the morning, then daytime school, in the evening college. Right. And after completing masters, then I did B.Ed. It was on again, all the 3. So all till by 24, I completed all my masters, B.Ed, MA, everything, and I had an experience of teaching school, and I in a short period of time I doubled my life, right? And when I came back to Kathmandu for a short visit for summer vacation, I went to modern Indian school. Somehow they hooked me. Then there was no turning point. Then I got hooked in modern Indian school, worked there.
हजुर म्याम
Then I was
म्याम यही प्रसङ्गमा चाहिँ एउटा अर्को प्रश्न सोध्न चाहे हजुरको प्रारम्भिक शिक्षा कहाँबाट सुरु भयो कुन स्कुलबाट हजुरको अध्ययन सुरु गर्नुभएको थियो हालसम्म हजुरले आफ्नो अध्ययनलाई चाहिँ कहाँसम्म पुर्याउनु भएको छ
ओके क्लास प्रारम्भिक शिक्षा हाम्रो रमन हाई सेकेन्डरी स्कुल भोपाल क्लास 9देखि then I went to St. Joseph's Convent School Bhopal again BSc Maharani Lakshmibai College Bhopal MA sociology same college and B.Ed from Career College everything all my studies I completed in Bhopal त्यसपछि I was working and then I had my kids बच्चाहरू थियो त्यसपछि बच्चाहरूलाई when they stop then when I came to felt कि okay I don't have to teach my children I have 2 children and then they clear out their 12 then I felt it I don't have to teach now what should I do it then I wanted to go for leadership I want to take up an administration and a leadership as a principal then my husband suggested no you have to learn in depth about what is education in reality should know the ground reality of education and then I went to Tribhuvan University for MPhil in education okay then applied there was a written test I was very nervous because I was holding pen and taking exam for 4 hours exam which I never did it for past 25 years so just an example for everyone children I was in late 40s I was around 45 years old again after completing I completed my 24 at 24 I finished all my studies MA B.Ed then after 25 years, I started taking up the classes, learning. I was a student again. So age is not a factor for anybody to study. I feel so surprised when the children say, okay, we can't study, it's so hectic and all. With all my house responsibilities, social responsibilities, I did study again after, and everyone was laughing at me. I was a fool. Are you gone mad? You're fool. You're studying at this age, having so much of experience and all. Why? I said no. Okay, age is not a factor for learning. So I started my studies again, 45 years religiously. At least I think I studied not less than 15 hours a day. Okay, it was a research-based study. So for everyone, if you decide, everyone will help you to give you the things you want. When there is a will, I did it. My MPhil in education with specialization in leadership from Tribhuvan University, and I was given a special consideration by Dr. Vidyanath Koirala sir. He was the program coordinator. He given a special concession for extra time for us to complete the thesis, because usually you don't get so much of time to complete the thesis. I took 6 years to complete my thesis, because at the day I finished my exam of MPhil theory part, next day I was appointed as a principal in school TIA. So then I had a lot of time constraint. I could not do it. So for that, for completing my MPhil in education, I was supported thoroughly by my Dr. Vidyanath Kodala sir. He morally gave support, and he said, he gave me the confidence that nobody can, you can do it. So I want to pass this message to each one of you students and everyone. Please, if you think you can do it, nobody in the world can stop you. This is my teaching and learning journey.
हजुर म्याम म्याम मुभिङ अन, हजुरले चाहिँ शिक्षा क्षेत्रमा लामो योगदान गर्नुभएको छ। मलाई लाग्छ हजुर शिक्षाको लागि नै विद्यार्थीको लागि नै जन्मिनु भएको जस्तो हिसाबले चाहिँ शैक्षिक गतिविधिमा लागिरहनु भएको। यहाँले चाहिँ बुझाइ चाहिँ शिक्षा के हो, व्हाट इज एजुकेसन जस्तो लाग्छ? शिक्षा तपाईँको लागि के दिएको छ? हजुरको जीवनमा शिक्षा कति महत्त्वपूर्ण जस्तो लाग्छ हजुरलाई?
शिक्षा नि महात्मा गान्धीले के भन्नुभएको छ नि, एजुकेसन is nothing, is just making a sound mind and sound body. Sound mind in a sound body. That means physically person will, if a person is educated, he will be physically sound and mentally sound. Right? So for good mental health, this is what the education does it. That means we live in 5 planes. Okay, one is a physical, intellectual, social, emotional, and spiritual. Education helps in all these 5 factors, planes. Okay, so if a person is educated, he will be physically strong because he's conscious about his health, and then he will be enlightened. Okay, intelligence and social norms and emotional stability we will be there, right? And last, there's a spiritual development. He will be spiritually enlightened. This is what the education has to do with. I don't know how far we are able to justify the main vision of education. This is what I have learned it about the education. Yes, child.
हजुर म्याम, यसै गरी चाहिँ अब कुरा गरौँ हजुरको अध्यापक गराउन थाल्नु भएको कति भयो, कहाँबाट अध्यापन गर्न थाल्नु भयो, हजुरको सुरुवात यात्रादेखि चान्दबाग स्कुलको प्रिन्सिपलसम्म शैक्षिक यात्राको अनुभवहरू सेयर गरिदिनुस् न।
ओके, मैले भने फर्स्ट डे मेरो बीएससी एक्जाम दिएपछि I was being called by the director of Bharati Niketan School, Mr. Shriram Bhatt. He was the director of the school. He wanted to meet me. I went there. Dr. Bhatt Sarle, he was the famous in the whole state of Madhya Pradesh. Very strong personality. Whatever I am, the whole credit goes to my director, the one who really educated me, my guide, philosopher, Shriram Bhatt, sir. He's no more. Then he said, Nira, please go and visit class 9. I went. I was just fresher. I went, and then he told me, then you go to class 10, and then that way I spend the whole day visiting different classes and talking to the children, and somehow I fall in love with the school, with the student. That really nourished me. Okay, I felt it. This is the job. I think I should take it up. So it started. It was a small school with not a beautiful infrastructure which we see all around.
हजुर
But the best school, best school without that infrastructure which people counted.
हजुर
Na, rich with a lot of culture, and we call it sanskar
हजुर
was there. Taught there for 4 years, and then 1 year I went. Later on, I got an opportunity in government school, that is Vikram High Secondary School. There I switched over for 1 year. Uh, for again, I was taking science for 9, 10, 11 for the high secondary school. It was for only 9, 10, 11, 12. 4 classes were there, all boys. It was wonderful. All the rowdy ones, all the state toppers were there. Okay, and I feel these were the schools, especially the Bharati Niketan school. When I go back, whenever I visit Bhopal, I see my students waiting. Students come and visit. Those who were the toppers, they are successful. They are big officers, state officers, bureaucrats, then collectors. And those who are not doing good in their academics, they are equally successful.
हजुर
And the success, if we ask them what made you so successful in your life, they said there's only two keys. One of my students said it, and it's a message for every one of you all. There's only two keys: keep two people happy in the world. It's
exactly
your parents and your teachers. When these two people are happy with you, then you are successful. This is the mantra for every one of you.
हजुर
And then I came to modern Indian school. There was no vacancy, but the principal somehow, she again hooked me.
हजुर
She said, Nira, please visit one class. And then I went to the class. Then again, she made me take another class that way. And then I said, okay, for 2 months I will work. And then after summer holidays, I'll go back. But later on, after 2 months, when I went with the resignation, she said, no, please go and come back as long as you want a break, and then you come back again.
हजुर
She returned my resignation, and then I had to come back. And I think I was fortunate enough. I got a good place.
हजुर
Uh, then I had two kids. I did not work for 3 years. Not three. I did not work for 5 years. Then I had a school at my neighbor, Loyola School. My friend was leading. She was the principal, Mrs. Rekha Galgali. She also again hooked me. I hooked there for again 8 years. And then I took a break. I studied my MPhil. And after completing MPhil, then I joined as a principal in TIA school for 8 years worked.
हजुर
And then I switched over to the Chandbagh Paspari. A lovely experience. I enjoyed my life. I hope my children also enjoyed my company.
Yeah, they surely will. म्याम हजुर विभिन्न समयमा विश्वका विकसित देशहरूमा विभिन्न शैक्षिक क्षेत्रसँग रिलेटेड कार्यक्रममा शैक्षिक एक्टिभिटीमा सहभागी क्रममा धेरै देशहरू भ्रमण गर्नुभएको छ होला के फरक जस्तो लाग्छ नेपाल र अन्य देशहरूको शिक्षा प्रणालीमा चाहिँ
सबभन्दा पहिला म के भन्नु भने नि मैले इन्डियामा पनि पढाएँ पढे पनि पढाएँ पनि त्यहाँ के डिफरेन्स देखियो भने एज अ टिचर मैले पढाउँदा पेरेन्ट्स बडीको र स्टुडेन्ट्स बडीको रेस्पेक्ट फर द टिचर फर द अर्गनाइजेसन इज भेरी भेरी हाई टिचरले एउटा एनिथिङ सेड बाई एनी टिचर द्याट्स डन means nobody is going to change. Means if the teacher gives any command, they accept it. And the principal gives any command to the teacher, they accept it. Any message given to the parent body, they accept it. It was a high regard from the community to the teachers to the organization. And that way, के भयो भने त्यसले गर्दा बच्चालाई के सिक्यो रेस्पेक्ट गर्नुपर्ने रहेछ शिक्षकलाई रेस्पेक्ट गर्नुपर्ने रहेछ, अर्गनाइजेसनले रेस्पेक्ट गर्नुपर्ने रहेछ, उनीहरूले भनेको मान्नुपर्ने रहेछ। त्यो गर्दा गर्दा त्यो बच्चामा संस्कार आयो कि हामीले इज्जत दिए, सम्मान दिए भने सम्मान पाउँदो रहेछौँ भन्ने त्यो बुझ्यो। र हरेक बच्चाको मनमा के थियो कि पनि म यो पर्टिकुलर टिचर जस्तो बन्नुपर्नेछ भन्नु होइन। दे ह्याड द्याट फिलिङ कि म पनि एउटा टिचर, म एज अ टिचर यो पर्टिकुलर टिचर जस्तो बन्छु भन्ने त्यो फिलिङ कहीँ न कहीँ बच्चामा थियो। सायद टिचर्सको हार्डवर्क देखेर हो कि दे इन्जोयड होइन। रहरले पढ्थ्यो। काठमाडौँ आउँदा मोडर्न इन्डियनमा कल्चर त्यो सेम थियो, हाई रिगार्ड्स थियो। पछि आएर when I switched into different school, it's not everyone. The culture is same. Teachers, I enjoyed. टिचर्सलाई रेस्पेक्ट जुन चाहिँ बच्चाले टिचरलाई रेस्पेक्ट गर्यो, नर्म्स, सोसल नर्म्स, स्कुलको नर्म्स, रुल्स रेगुलेसन है, दे बिकम भेरी सक्सेसफुल इन देयर लाइफ होइन। and those who could not, they really could not do well in their academics, and somewhere they will develop some problems. त्यो कल्चर त्यो अलिकति डिफरेन्स चाहिँ त्यो देखेँ। America, I happened to visit America also and had a talk with the students there. They have a full liberty. Europe countries, it wasn't individualistic. Whereas in our eastern side, in whole Asia Pacific, what we do, we work for the social development. We are more concerned about social and emotional feelings. But in Western countries, they are very individualistic, because after 16 and 18, the parents, neither they have the responsibility of the child, nor the child will listen to the parents. But out in our culture, we listen. I still listen to my mother. She's 89. I'm very scared. She's a very disciplined lady and very scared. And I work for our children. My parents work for us. We work for our grandchildren. So we are more social responsible people. Okay, slowly that what I see it now slowly is getting faded away. The social bonding and emotional bonding is slowly getting faded away. Maybe it's because of the digitalization. That's the only difference I found it in Western and Eastern. We are far ahead if we compare it. In Nepal, we are doing wonderful. I think nobody can beat it. Yes, my dear.
Ma'am, अलिकति प्रसङ्ग मोड्न चाहे। आज कोरोना भाइरसको कारणले गर्दा नेपालमा अनलाइन शिक्षा कल्चर चाहिँ बढिरहेको छ के अनलाइन क्लास कक्षा क्लासरुममा जस्तै प्रभावकारी हुन्छ? हजुरलाई के लाग्छ यस्तो प्रभावकारिताको बारेमा?
नि प्रभावकारी कसरी नि कतिजनाले भन्छन् किन प्रभावकारी भएन, प्रभावकारी कसले बनाउँदैन? इट्स we the school management team, the teachers team, parents body and the students. I see हाम्रो स्टुडेन्ट्सहरू they are doing wonderful. Chand Bagh is in a part of a CG education head officer, and there are many schools. Okay, and the head office always work. There is a research and development. The head office, we have a big team. They work, they do the research work, and they come up with the different ideas. They empower us, we empower our teachers, and this goes on down the line. Okay, so I think it's very if suppose I think it would have been a big disaster in education online. We are in a cocoon. I think you must have learned it, the development stage of any insect. So the child, when larva completely covers itself with the cocoon, whatever it has consumed, and during the cocoon period it develops that whatever it has consumed, it will help larva to develop its wings, and then it cuts and flies it away. What I considered, now everyone is in cocoon back at home. uh, we are giving them lessons, we are trying to develop their wings. So one day it has to go, COVID has to go. So I think our children will do wonderful. It's be because we have our wonderful parents. Some parents have given up their job just to support their children, just to support their children, because they feel my child is back at home, घरमा छ, मैले अब मैले समय दिनुपर्नेछ, because without the parents assistance the child cannot take up the class. And some everyone now I see class 1 students, they know so well, they are becoming digitally smart. So every challenges brings some better opportunities. I think if we take it that way, that's a positive part of the COVID, that we got more opportunities to learn through different ways, right?
म्याम, आज
Yes.
हजुरलाई यसरी कार्यक्रममा म जस्तो विद्यार्थीले अन्तर्वार्ता दिँदा तपाईँको मनमा के लागिरहेको छ? यस कार्यक्रममा आउँदा हजुरले के यसको कार्यक्रममा के भन्न चाहनुहुन्छ यस कार्यक्रमको
I feel
बारेमा?
so proud. The students, if we students, every child has that capacity.
हजुर,
You are no less than Bhushan Dahal. You are no less than Simi Garewal. Okay, anybody. It's how you learn it. It's how you see it. It's a if a child has the learning attitude, the sky is the limit. Okay,
हजुर,
I wouldn't have like I'm really surprised a student of class 9 can take an interview like this. It's so nice. Even our students are very smart. It's now you people are very fortunate. You have big exposure. Okay, your learning starts from creation. Okay, we can't say that we were not that lucky, but what we did is we learned whatever the teacher taught. We It was like in a copy paste. I mean, like consume garyu, and then we paste it on black and white in written. Okay, but now learning has gone to a higher scale of Bloom's taxonomy. That's a creative, innovative. So अहिलेको बच्चाहरू, they are more creative. Okay, because and the world doesn't need the copycats. World needs the creative people. So it's not necessary that one has to be Einstein. Why Einstein? You should not compare, want to become an Einstein or anybody. Huh? You have to be Shraddha Sharma. Let every child be identified by its own name.
हजुर,
Right? Yes, my dear.
हजुर।
Anything?
म्याम, हाम्रो भने निर्धारित समय सकिनै आँटेको छ। म्याम, जानुभन्दा अगाडि मलाई अन्तिम सोध्न मन लागेको प्रश्न, यो चाहिँ एउटा अलिकति भावनात्मक प्रश्न सोध्न चाहन्छु। फुलको आँखामा
Yes.
फुलै संसार, काँडाको आँखामा काँडै संसार, प्रसिद्ध गायिका आनिङ छिङ डोल्माले गाउनु भएको यो गीत, हजुरको आँखामा चाहिँ जीवन के काँडा हो कि फुल हो? हजुरको जीवन, हजुरलाई आफ्नो जिन्दगी के हजुरको जिन्दगी कसरी हेर्सिन्छ? हजुर आफ्नो जिन्दगी काँडा भएर देखिसिन्छ कि हजुर आफ्नो फुल भएको जिन्दगी देखिसिन्छ आफ्नो जिन्दगीलाई अहिले?
It's a mixed. It's a mixed. Without kana, if you don't have any hurdles र kana भएन भने, then food will lose its beauty. Okay, if you don't have, it's like an example. ECG ma jab when the line goes straight, it's dead. If there's a fluctuation up and down, then there is a life. So there has to be some hurdles, and any problems always brings solutions and empowers you. If you don't have problems, and I feel if you see the successful people, जति पनि successful अहिले तपाईं हेर्नुहुन्छ भविष्य संसारमा, it's simply because they must have failed number of times. They must have faced number of challenges in their life. So challenges always brings development. right? This is my opinion, might be wrong.
म्याम मलाई
Yes.
हजुर म्याम मलाई जाँदा जाँदै चाहिँ जीवनमा कयौँ हजुरले यात्राहरू हजुरको सम्झनै पर्छ हजुरको एउटा खुसीको पल चाहिँ अलिकति हामीमा बताइदिन्छु न हजुरको लाइक एकदमै म प्राउड छु है मेरो लाइफमा मैले यो काम गरेर चाहिँ भन्ने कुरा चाहिँ अलिकति भनिदिन्छु न हजुरको
Okay.
लाइफमा चाहिँ
Okay. There's so many things, number of things. One thing I remember, when I gave the resignation in my previous school, I was called by class 10 students. It was a big surprise for me. One student said, "Ma'am, do you remember you taught us?" I was a principal then. I used to go whenever there is a teacher is not there. I used to go as a substitution buyer. I used to hop into the classes and used to give them the stories. I this that particular student, that particular class was class 3. Class 3 ma मैले एउटा story सुनाएको थिएँ, and that student said he was in 10 then. After 8 years, then he said कि म्याम तपाईँले मलाई हामीले एउटा स्टोरी सुनाउनु भएको थियो, कसैले राम्रो काम गर्यो भने ढुङ्गामा नाम लेख्नु र कसैले तिमीसँग गलत गर्यो भने त्यसले स्यान्डमा लेख्नु भनेर. I said, oh, you still remember? मैले कि yes ma'am, that story कुन क्लासमा लेखेँ? 8 years back ma'am, when I was in class 3. And later on he said, ma'am, something, he gave me a small piece of packet. I was shocked to see him. Hello.
हजुर म्याम
I was shocked to see. I'll show you. I take it. It's the best asset of my life. And he gave me my photo. He took the photo from somewhere from his school magazines, and then he got printed on a stone.
wow I mean
This is the photo. It is and then there was no stop. Everyone was crying. I could not. I sat down on the floor. I could not. Speechless. That was the best asset I have.
It's really memorable.
So what I feel, if we teach the children, whether it's a class 3 or 2, that nobody can forget anything.
Exactly.
Right. So that's the best moment.
हामी भने कार्यक्रमको अन्तिम क्षणमा आइपुगिसकेका छौँ. जाँदा जाँदै चाहिँ हजुरको शैक्षिक योगदानको उच्च सम्मान गर्न चाहन्छु. मेरो व्यक्तिगत तर्फबाट त हजुरलाई गर्नुभएको महान योगदानको लागि विशेष सम्मान व्यक्त गर्दै कार्यक्रममा आइदिनु भएकोमा हार्दिक आभार प्रकट गर्न चाहन्छु. Once again, ma'am, for your time, with the entire team of Smart Students, hold a huge gratitude.
Thank you so much, Shraddha. You've been so nice. I could share it. I think if my journey can inspire, I said at the age of 45 and then late 50, in 50s, if a lady can study with having all the social responsibility, home responsibility, with the working responsibility, if I can study, anybody can study. All right. Have a learning attitude. Keep growing. Nobody will stop you for your growth. Thank you, child. Thank you so much for giving me the place for me to share my learning. Thank you.
साथै भ्युअर्सहरूलाई फिडब्याक दिनको लागि हामी सोशल मिडिया पेजेसहरुमा पनि उपलब्ध छौं. हजुरहरूलाई यो प्रोग्राममा भाग लिन मन लागेमा सोशल मिडियामा स्मार्ट स्टुडेन्ट सर्च गरेर मेसेज गर्न सक्नुहुनेछ. We are always open for feedbacks and comments. अनि यो भिडियो हेर्नको लागि युट्युबमा गएर स्मार्ट स्टुडेन्ट सर्च गरेर हेर्न सक्नुहुनेछ. अनि हाम्रो च्यानललाई सब्स्क्राइब गरी लाइक, शेयर र कमेन्ट गर्न नभुल्नुहोला. यसैगरी म श्रद्धा शर्मा सेन्ट मेरी स्कुलकी छात्रा यहाँबाट बिदा हुन चाहन्छु. हस्त आजको लागि यति नै. धन्यवाद र नमस्ते.